Hey, how's it going, guys? So it's been a long time since I did one of these videos, but we're going to be checking out an SCP video, and if you're new channel, welcome. So it's been a while since I did a video by TheVolgun. By the way, shout out and credit goes to TheVolgun for this video, and it was recommended to me by one of my subscribers who is part of my Discord channel, and also I found out he recommended this video to me through one of my gameplay videos, Helldivers 2, because he was part of my squad and we played together. And then he's a huge fan of SCP Foundation, and basically he noticed that I did watch a short film which referred to like about 3 to 4 SCP Foundation anomalies, and it mentioned SCP-049 Plague Doctor, which he says is his favorite anomaly. So he recommended to me 4 SCP-049 videos, but in this one I'm only going to be watching one of them, which is the Volgun, because it's already 30 minutes long. And then I'm going to watch 2 more videos in another video, because both of them add up together adds up to about half an hour. But the 4th video he recommended to me is an hour long, so that's going to be a video alone itself. But this is what I know about the Plague Doctor so far. I remember in the short film that he is a doctor, like he has that like long pointy plague mask that during the medieval times, and I remember seeing those masks in Assassin's Creed games, because that is the long mask that they wear. And and this is just by observation, I don't know anything about this. It seems that I remember this one guy just like naturally coughed near the Plague Doctor, and then he just broke out his like surgical tools, his scalpel, his everything, and started like doing some sort of surgery operation on him, like as if the man who coughed was actually like sick from some sort of disease. But that's all I got. So this Plague Doctor, and it says object class Euclid, so he could be he is kind of dangerous. Well, I mean, he is dangerous, but I guess it means that there are ways that we can avoid like becoming his patient or something like that. And this video came out in 2018, so it's been some time. But I'm really curious to see and learn more about the Plague Doctor. So without anything else, let's just jump right into it.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Dr. Miller, and the SCP we're going to be studying today is SCP-49. Object Class, Euclid. Special Containment Procedures. SCP-49 is contained within a standard secure humanoid containment cell in Research Sector 2 at Site-19. SCP-49 must be sedated before any attempts to transport it. During transport, SCP-49 must be secured within a Class 3 humanoid restriction harness, including a locking collar and extension restraints, and monitored by no fewer than 2 armed guards. While SCP-49 is generally cooperative with most Foundation personnel, outbursts or sudden changes in behavior are to be met with elevated force. Under no circumstances should any personnel come into direct contact with SCP-49 during these outbursts. In the event SCP-49 becomes aggressive, the application of lavender, L. multifida, has been shown to produce a calming effect on the entity. Once calmed, SCP-49 generally becomes compliant and will return to containment with little resistance.
Okay, so it could be
in order to facilitate the ongoing containment of SCP-49, the entity is to be provided with a corpse of a recently deceased animal, typically a bovine or other large mammal, once every 2 weeks for study. Corpses that become instances of SCP-49-2 are to be removed from SCP-49's containment cell and incinerated. SCP-49 is no longer permitted to interact with human subjects, and requests for human subjects are to be denied.
Okay, so he really does act like a doctor. He has to like do some sort of surgery and study, like he's trying to look for a certain cure. And the fact that it said is no longer permitted to interact with human subjects, and requests for human subjects are denied. That means that he attempted to experiment on humans. I mean, I wonder what kind of Class D personnel almost got sent in there. Okay, so it is cooperative, and it just has some random outbursts. But however, he can be cooperated with Lavender and also doing like some sort of medical and experimental studies on large animals. Got it.
Temporary Containment Procedure Update. See Addendum 49.3. Per Containment Committee Order 049.S19.17.1, SCP-49 is no longer permitted to interact directly with any members of Foundation staff, nor is it to be provided with any additional corpses to be used in its surgeries. This order shall persist indefinitely, until such time a consensus regarding the ongoing containment of SCP-49 can be reached. Description: SCP-49 is a humanoid entity, roughly 1.9 meters in height, which bears the appearance of a medieval plague doctor. While SCP-49 appears to be wearing thick robes, and the ceramic mask indicative of that profession, the garments instead seem to have grown out of SCP-49's body over time, and are now nearly indistinguishable from whatever form is beneath them. X-rays indicate that despite this, SCP-49 does have a humanoid skeletal structure beneath its outer layer.
Okay.
SCP-49 is capable of speech in a variety of languages, though it tends to prefer English or medieval French. While SCP-49 is generally cordial and cooperative with Foundation staff, it can become easily irritated or at times outright aggressive if it feels that it is in the presence of what it calls the pestilence. Although the exact nature of this pestilence is currently unknown to Foundation researchers, it does seem to be an issue of immense concern to SCP-49.
Okay, so it can speak English, which we saw in the short film, but that was a long time ago, but it also prefers medieval French. And I'm guessing the pestilence is something that he's trying to cure, but like I said, I remember in the film that a man coughed and then he just said, "Uh-oh, okay, you're like infected with the pestilence, so I'm gonna perform surgery on you and cure you," or something like that. So I guess the SCP-49's goal is to do that, just constantly experiment and do surgery to find the cure for this so-called pestilence.
SCP-49 will become hostile with individuals it sees as being affected by the pestilence, often having to be restrained should it encounter such. If left unchecked, SCP-49 will generally attempt to kill any such individual. SCP-49 is capable of causing all biological functions of an organism to cease through direct skin contact. How this occurs is currently unknown, and autopsies of SCP-49's victims have invariably been inconclusive. SCP-49 has expressed frustration or remorse after these killings, indicating that they have done little to kill the pestilence, though will usually seek to perform a crude surgery on the corpse using the implements contained within a black doctor's bag it carries on its person at all times. While these surgeries are not always successful, they often result in the creation of instances of SCP-49-2. SCP-49-2 instances are reanimated corpses that have been operated on by SCP-49. These instances do not seem to retain any of their prior memories or mental functions, having only basic motor skills and response mechanisms. While these instances are generally inactive, moving very little, and in a generally ambulatory fashion, they can become extremely aggressive if provoked, or if directed to by SCP-49. SCP-49-2 instances express active biological functions, though these are vastly different from currently understood human physiology. Despite these alterations, SCP-49 often remarks that the subjects have been cured. Addendum 49.1 Discovery.
Sorry. So, the corpses that he operated on are reanimated. But however, the reanimated corpses are pretty much just like zombies. Very little movements and having only basic motor skills and response mechanisms. And in his eyes, they're cured. Wow.
SCP-49 was discovered during the investigation of a series of unknown disappearances in the town of Montauban in southern France. During a raid on a local home, investigators found several instances of SCP-49-2 as well as SCP-49. While law enforcement personnel engaged the hostile 49-2 instances, SCP-49 was noted as watching the engagement and taking notes in its journal. After all of the 49-2 instances were dispatched, SCP-49 willingly entered Foundation custody.
Oh, like he wants to
The
be
following
caught.
interview was conducted by Dr. Raymond Ham during the initial investigation.
Oh, this should be
Interviewer,
interesting.
Dr. Raymond Ham, Site 85. Interviewee, SCP-49. Playing log, now.
Alors, comment devrions-nous commencer une introduction?
Is that French? Can we get a translator?
The King's English. No need for translation, sir. I can speak it well enough.
Good. My name is Dr. Raymond Ham, and I...
Ah, a doctor. A like-minded individual, no doubt. Wherein is your speciality, sir?
Cryptobiology. Why?
A medical man, such as myself. Wonders abound. And here, I worried I had been abducted by common street thugs. This place, then, this is your laboratory. I had wondered, as clean as it is, and with such little trace of the pestilence here.
The pestilence? What do you mean?
The scourge. The great dying. Come now. You know what is it they call it? No matter. The pestilence, yes. It abounds outside these walls, you know. So many have succumbed, and many more will continue to, until such time as a perfect cure can be developed. Fortunately, I am very close. It is my duty in life to rid the world of it, you see. The cure to end all cures.
Sorry for pausing, guys. So, SCP-049, by the way, the voice for Dr. Ham and SCP-049 is really good. So, SCP-40, the Plague Doctor sees his work as righteous and just, and he will be the one to save the world. I'm guessing, whoever he is, he was originally from the medieval times, and yeah, there is a pestilence. So I'm guessing he started off as a regular human that was actually a doctor, and I'm guessing maybe he lost a loved one. Now, this is just my theory. He lost a loved one to the pestilence, or saw so many people die from the pestilence. So by his oath, he swore to cure the pestilence, and find the cure for the pestilence, and I guess that work became his obsession, and somehow maybe he turned into an anomaly or something like that. That's what I think of so far. But the fact that you're able to communicate with this anomaly is a good start. So it could be reasoned with, it can cooperate, and it could do all that. But you just gotta keep, you do have to keep him restrained, otherwise he's gonna just start experimenting on people.
When you say the Great Dying, are you talking about the bubonic plague?
I don't know what that is.
I see. Right, well, the entities our agents encountered at the house, they were dead when you encountered them, yes? You reanimated them.
In a manner of speaking, you see things too simply, Doctor. Expand your horizons. Life and death, sickness and health. These are amateur terms for amateur physicians. There is only one ailment that exists in the world of men, and that is the pestilence, and nothing else. Make no mistake, they were very ill. All of them.
You think you cured those people?
Indeed. My cure is most effective.
But the things we recovered were not human.
Yes, well, it is not a perfect cure, but that will come with time and further experimentation. I have spent a lifetime developing my methods, Dr. Ham, and will spend a lifetime more if necessary. Now, we have wasted too much time. There is work to do. I will require a laboratory of my own, one where I can continue my research unimpeded. And assistance, of course, though I can provide those on my own. In time.
I don't think our organization would be willing to...
Nonsense. We are all men of science. Fetch your coat and show me to my quarters, Doctor. Our work begins now.
So that's why he went willingly. He thinks that the SCP Foundation will be able to provide him with everything he needs to cure the pestilence. Oh.
Interviewers note, while SCP-49 is capable of communicating in a very human way, there is a strange sense of unease that one experiences when in its presence. Make no mistake, there is something very uncanny about this entity indeed. Additionally, we've confiscated that pointed stick that SCP-49 keeps waving around. Part of this was due to standard confiscation protocols for the possession of anomalies, and part because 49 really is a menace swinging it around like he does. The entity was displeased at first, but after we made some concessions in providing it with test subjects, which are admittedly more for the benefit of our own research, it warmed up to the idea.
I'm willing to bet these test subjects are Class D personnel. I guess it was to calm him down. So they said, you know what, we'll take away your pointed stick. In return, we'll give you some human subjects. Oh man, I feel sorry for whoever got chosen for that.
Addendum 49.2 Observation Log. While in containment at Site-19, SCP-49 has spent a considerable amount of time studying and performing surgery on the various mammalian corpses it had been provided. SCP-49 will routinely spend several days performing surgery, and then, regardless of whether or not the corpse becomes an instance of SCP-49-2, spending several more days documenting its findings in a thick leather journal stored within its doctor's bag. SCP-49 will often seek to share its findings with members of Foundation staff.
Okay.
The following is a log of several occasions during which SCP-49 was observed operating on a mammalian corpse. Observational Log 49.OL.1 Summary. Subject: SCP-49. Preface: a test subject, D-85-123, was introduced into SCP-49's containment cell. The entity expressed sincere gratitude towards all members of the containment and research staff. Observation notes: SCP-49 began by asking D-85-123 several standard medical questions.
Yep, like I said, D-Class member. Man, I'm willing to bet that the research staff didn't even tell this D-Class test subject that what he's actually doing or what it's all about. So this guy is probably just going in there and thinking, what's with the mask?
As it began removing tools from its bag. Shortly after finishing its preparations, SCP-49 quickly closed the distance between the two, killing the subject with a touch to its throat. Afterwards, SCP-49 made a number of considerable alterations to the basic structure of the subject's corpse, often introducing fluids from within its bag into the subject by way of a hand-powered pump and copper tubing. The resulting 49-2 instance became animated, flailing and grasping at the walls of the chamber with a number of manufactured limbs while moaning out of an oblong orifice now present in its sternum. During this time, SCP-49 was observed taking notes of the instance in its journal and remarking to the watching research staff about the efficacy of its cure. Security personnel entered the chamber to move SCP-49 back to containment and were attacked by the instance. The security team dispatched the 49-2 instance, and SCP-49 returned to containment with no resistance, stating that it was pleased with the results. Observational Log 49.OL.2 Summary. Subject: SCP-49. Preface: SCP-49 was provided the corpse of a recently deceased goat. SCP-49 expressed gratitude at the provision.
Well, at least it has manners.
Observation notes: SCP-49 operated on the goat corpse for several days, eventually resulting in an instance of SCP-49 too. SCP-49 expressed pleasure in this outcome, though admitted the disease was still in its nascent stage. My veterinarian practice is rudimentary, but the patient responded well to the procedure. Observational Log 49.0L.3 Summary. Subject: SCP-49. Preface: SCP-49 was provided the corpse of a recently deceased orangutan. SCP-49 expressed noted gratitude at the provision due to the similarities between the orangutan and common human physiology.
Makes sense. Then he will be happy with that.
SCP-49 spent several days operating on the orangutan, reanimating it several times. However, SCP-49 appeared to be discontent with the results it experienced, returning to the creature 3 times after its initial reanimation for additional work. After it was unable to reanimate the corpse a 5th time, SCP-49 turned the corpse over to Foundation staff for incineration, stating, "I have learned so much from this, though I fear my early optimism was misplaced. I hadn't yet come across such a stumbling block on my road to the cure. More subjects like this would do a great deal in advancing my research." Observational Log 49.0L.7 Full. Subject: SCP-49. Preface: SCP-49 was provided the corpse of a recently deceased bovine. SCP-49 expressed mild annoyance at the provision, though it accepted it nonetheless. Observation Notes: SCP-49 spent several days operating on the bovine corpse.
I mean, sorry guys, I'm not very familiar with all the animals and everything, and I just looked it up, and yeah, I finally saw what a bovine is. I mean, I've seen this animal many times. Basically, it's a subfamily of medium to large size hoofed animals that include cattle, bison, and all that. But technically, bovine comes from the Latin word for cow. Okay, I did not know that actually. Hey, I learned something new.
Breaking, only to dine on a requested dinner of thin crackers, salted pork, and hard cheese. Beginning first by embalming the corpse, SCP-49 was observed producing a number of long syringes from its bag, each containing a different dark viscous fluid. SCP-49 described these fluids as essences of the humors, and elaborated by saying the pestilence may bring about a systemic imbalance. In such case, before true healing can begin, one must find the humors in balance, or the body will reject the cure. Over the next few days, SCP-49 spent a considerable amount of time adjusting the organs of the bovine corpse with a number of large metal instruments. After 8 days, SCP-49 produced a lightning rod, which Dr. Ham exchanged for an electric cattle prod attached to an extension cord, and struck the corpse in several locations.
Yeah, because I was about to say, if 49's got a lightning rod, there's going to be a lightning bolt that will come right through the ceiling.
This action seemingly had the effect of reanimating the bovine, which once again became ambulatory, despite the inversion of the head and reorientation of its limbs.
Oh, by the way, guys, I just wanted to say this before we go on, because I don't want to forget it. So now this is what kind of vibes it's giving me. SCP-49, the Plague Doctor, the way he's like experimenting and also just reanimating the corpses, especially with, you know, electricity and everything, it's starting to give me like Frankenstein vibes. You know, Dr. Frankenstein, where he, I did read the stories, and I got this from like the movie I, Frankenstein, where he basically stitched pieces of body parts together and reanimated it with like electricity and everything. So this kind of reminds me of that, kind of like Frankenstein's work, just putting everything together, experimenting and putting pieces of the body and all that together, reanimating it. So I mean, like, I don't know, I just wanted to share that. Like, it kind of reminds me of Frankenstein. Oh, another
and this
interview.
Is a follow-up interview to the previous observation logs. Playing log now.
We've watched you work for several weeks now, and honestly, I'm not sure I understand what you're doing. Could you describe your process in detail?
Oh, goodness no. The process is most intensive. As I said to your assistant, The best instruction you will find about my methods are here in my journals, as I have kept exhaustive records of my work there.
Oh, I see. Well, my concern, Doctor, is that we still don't understand what you're seeking to cure, or how it manifests, or how turning these creatures into quasi-living, mindless drones helps in that effort.
You do not understand the pestilence, even after all this time. Doctor, it is an unspeakable horror, one that has shown its true face many times before, and will again. I find myself blessed with the wisdom and good senses needed to root it out and destroy it. But many, like yourself, cannot. It is a cruel judgment, I fear, to be at the mercy of a disease you cannot fully comprehend.
That still doesn't answer my question. How's your cure any kind of cure at all?
It is a cure. You may laugh at my efforts if you please, but do not besmirch the good name of scientific progress that has developed this great mercy. What you short-sightedly see here is a life better than any this creature could have hoped for. Stricken as it was with the pestilence, this creature is now clean, unable to spread the pestilence, and free from the terror it would have experienced otherwise.
So it sounds like the doctor's cure is to make living things like us basically void of life, lifeless. So that way we cannot be infected, we cannot be affected by the effects of the pestilence or spread around. So that's how he views as the solution.
This is hardly a creature at all, Doctor. It's not even...
Do not jape with me, sir. You and your colleagues are like so many others, unable to look past minor setbacks to see the salvation taking place before your very eyes. Do you wait to remove rotten timbers until the whole collapses on top of you? No. You find them and you pull them out and replace them with those untouched by rot. And most of all, you do not simply mock the structure because it now looks different to you. It is strong. It is free of disease.
I'm sorry. Didn't mean to agitate you. I'm just trying to understand.
Yes. Well, do mind your words in the future, Doctor. I am a professional, but even professionals may feel the bite of pride in dealing with criticism of their masterpiece. I will forgive this as an act of good faith between colleagues.
Is there anything else
Yeah.
I can help you with?
No, that will be all.
We can't wait.
Another test subject on the usual schedule. You know my preference of subjects with more human anatomies.
Attending researchers note, SCP-49 does seem to genuinely want to help other humans, though it has not yet been able to provide a concrete example of what exactly it is trying to save us all from. I have watched it now for several weeks, and while the outcomes do not seem to ever change, SCP-49 continues to claim that it is growing closer to its perfect cure. I think the entity may be more aware of the reality of these outcomes than it would like us to think.
Yeah, so I see it going two ways. One, it's stuck in a loop thinking it's doing the right thing over and over again, even though the results are pretty much the same. Or two, as you said, the realities of the outcomes than it would like us to think. He is hiding something. Like, he's hiding information from the SCP Foundation staff, which makes sense. But I think it may be the first one. He just thinks that he is improving, but the results are just the same over and over again. Void of life, and the reanimated instances are just like aggressive and will attack. I don't know what else to say, to be honest.
Addendum 49.3 April 16th, 2017 Incident. Starting shortly after SCP-49's initial containment, Dr. Ham conducted a number of interviews with the subject regarding its anomalous properties, and over time began to note its displeasure with its subjects and SCP-49-2 instances. This continued for a period of several months, during which SCP-49 never exhibited any aggressive behaviors. On April 16, 2017, as Dr. Ham was
at
entering
boot camp.
SCP-49's test chamber to conduct another routine interview, the entity began to grow anxious and asked Dr. Ham if he was feeling well. Following protocol,
I don't
Dr.
like the
Ham
sound of
reminded
that.
SCP-49 that the interview was required, after which the entity became hostile and attacked Dr. Ham, killing him. Due to a lapse in security protocol and because Dr. Ham did not activate the in-chamber emergency system, Dr. Ham's corpse was not discovered until 3 hours later, by which point SCP-49 had converted it into an instance of SCP-49-2. In the aftermath of this incident, SCP-49 was interviewed by Dr. Theron Sherman.
As soon as SCP-49 asked him if he was feeling well, I already saw where this was going.
Playing log now.
I need you to explain yourself. SCP-049, you are being directed to explain your actions, and I will remind you that failure to cooperate will result in further restrictions during your containment.
My actions do not need to be explained.
You killed Raymond Ham, and then butchered him until he...
Not dead. No, not dead. He is cured.
Cured? Cured of what?
The pestilence, sir. I had thought you, at least, would realize what luck it is. I detected it before.
What pestilence? You keep going on and on about this pestilence, but you have not once been able to properly identify this disease. What could you have possibly seen in him today that you had not seen so many times before? That it would be worth his life?
The pestilence presents and progresses in unforeseeable fashions, and has a queer way of creeping into the unprepared. And call it what you want, Doctor. It was a mercy I did to him. He is cured.
He is a vegetable.
I would not expect you to understand. You and your ilk have proven time and time again not to be men of science, but men of emotion. You cannot appreciate the horrors I have seen. Those many millions who have succumbed to the pestilence and been changed.
Your cure cost Ray his life.
No, good sir, I have saved it. You would allow this world to slip back into the despair of disease and death, ignoring that I have created a miracle. And
What disease? What pestilence? He was a healthy man. He was a good doctor.
I'm offering it freely to the afflicted. You are not worth this argument, sir. You are short-sighted and foolish. Dr. Ham was sick, and I cured him. I am the only one who can do this. My work must continue. There is still so much to learn, so much
I've had
to
enough
do,
of this.
and others
Consider your allowances
can be
revoked.
saved. Even you.
Welcome to
though
containment,
you don't
049.
might be saved.
We're done here.
I can save them all. I can cast down this plague once and for all. I can do this. Only me. I saved him. Dr. Ham. I cured him. He was sick. I know he was sick. I know he was. And you are all sick, but I can save you. I can save all of you because I am the cure.
That's a
Addendum
great interview.
49.4 Post-Incident Report Interview. The following interview is an excerpt from the April 16, 2017 49 Incident Report. The interview was conducted by Dr. Elijah Itkin and took place 3 weeks after the start of the initial investigation. Playing now.
SCP-049, we are conducting this interview to close out our investigation of your actions taken on April 16th that resulted in the death of a staff member. Do you have any comments to make?
Only that I look forward to the day when you will allow me to resume my work. I have spent the last few weeks compiling my notes and constructing a new theory for how the pestilence was able to infect someone in such an insidious manner that I nearly couldn't detect it.
Have you experienced any remorse for your actions? For the death of Dr. Ham?
Ah, yes. Well, the death of a colleague is always regrettable, but in the face of the pestilence, we must be swift, Doctor, and act without hesitation.
Dr. Sherman noted in his report that you seemed to be mournful during your initial interview.
Mourn? Perhaps. I had not thought that. It is lamentable that a fellow doctor became infected, but the work continues. Regrettable as it was, Dr. Ham's death provided important insight. Living human subjects are the only way to proceed forward, I am decided. My cure is of little use on dead flesh, and I have gleaned all I can from your generous supply of corpses. My desires turn towards tending to those still living who suffer from the disease.
So basically, the plague doctor already thinks that the pestilence has spread to every single human being, so that means he is definitely going to be doing it to every single one of us until we are cured by reanimation. But looks like, from what I'm getting so far, is basically Dr. Ham right now is vegetable, and that's pretty much like every single thing that he reanimated, he experimented on. Basically, I think this is my theory. Plague Doctor thinks that the cure to the pestilence is basically draining all life from the individual, so that way they can't move, they can't get sick, and they can't spread the disease. Damn, that's one hell of a cure.
I'm afraid you're going to be disappointed.
Oh, Doctor. I wouldn't be so sure.
Oh yeah, that's terrifying.
Okay, I think that about does it for today. Thank you all for listening, if indeed you still are, and you're all dismissed. Goodbye.
That was a really great video by TheVolgun. I mean, it was really great to see one of these videos again, because I mean, I don't know when's the last time I saw an SCP Foundation video by TheVolgun, because it has been a while, and like I said, I kind of fell off of SCP Foundation videos for Star Citizen, Helldivers 2, and all that, so this is really great. But don't worry guys, there's more SCP-49 videos coming. I have 3 more, and they'll be coming in 2 separate videos. But so far, the Plague Doctor is a really, really interesting anomaly. The fact that this one is sentient and he can communicate, he has feelings, and basically he thinks that what his work is righteous. And basically what he said is, I know it hurts and all that, but however, I'm doing this out of science and logic, not emotion. And yeah, I mean, object class Euclid, so basically, if he cannot be reasoned with or cooperated with, then he would definitely have been Keter, object class Keter. But the fact that he can calm down, he could be reasoned, and he could be talked to and communicated with, that's why he's Euclid. But I see why one of my subscribers really like this anomaly, because this one is really great, and I'm really looking forward to the other videos. But anyways, that's all I got for today. So thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for watching. Hit that notification bell so you know when I drop another video. And also shout out to all my members, subscribers, viewers. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for your support, guys. I really do appreciate it. So with anything else, I'll see you guys next time.